was left in complete darkness. All I could see was the moonlight that flickered behind me. I knew what was coming. What was next? Fear and terror struck me. On cue, the wooden door slammed shut, locking me captive with a loud echo. She was right. She always was. It was only a matter of time before he walked in. What is this us I keep talking about? I'm alone. My friend was killed. My mother was murdered. My father's nowhere to be found. But I will be united with her once and for all if I don't find a way out. But the horrors felt inside my soul, and the lightning striking, the tale of which should never be spoken, unfold. It all started with a game. Jade and I were dared to walk inside the abandoned house. She was reluctant, her eyes full of doubt, yet I kept pushing her, persuading her until she accepted. It was a cold, dark December night. We were walking briskly towards the destination. I was rubbing my hands vigorously together to try salvage some heat which had been captured by the winter frost. Overhead loomed the vast oak trees, stripped of their coats, leaves nowhere to be seen, only to be replaced with the cold dread of winter, bare and naked. Ahead, I saw our journey's end, dark, old, derelict building, standing on its last legs, illuminated only by the moonlight itself. My body was full of goosebumps as it was a warning. I ignored it as we kept walking. A black cat startled us when it ran in front of us. Afterward, the door screeched and slowly opened. We stepped inside the old broken wooden house, looking left, then right. I could feel the anxiety lurking within. She knew we shouldn't have been there. And a rust on the trees above, the owl call jolted us, causing a full panic attack to abruptly start. I had to get out. We both did. At that instant, the door closed, locking us in. Fear and panic crept upon us as we screamed, punching, kicking the door to open. Soon after, we heard echoing footsteps. They were getting closer by the second. My heart thumped as Jane and I unknowingly split up. I ran to the first room I saw, locking the door. The moon was the only illumination the room attained. I turned around and saw it all. The bloody knives, the chainsaw waiting to be used, the bloody chair mocking me. My body began to tremble uncontrollably. I realized I was alone. Jade was somewhere out there in fear, in danger, unsafe with that sick psycho killer. Suddenly, I heard a vociferous bang, and immediately after, a deadly silence. The panic started again, and I cowered behind the crumbling door, crouching, fearing for my life. It's happening. What I feared the most is occurring. After 2 minutes of shrieking, clashing, and complete terror passed, silence. Only now would I attempt to show my face. I shakily had to find a way out. Smashing the only old, glazed, covered window in the room barehanded, I hurled myself out, falling, scraping myself on the pavement. I had to get out, but I couldn't. I couldn't leave Jade when I was the one who persuaded her. Therefore, I forcefully went back in the house of horrors. I prayed as if it were my last moments of life. I slowly stepped inside, feeling the anxiety, the pressure, searching for Jade and trying to keep a distance between the psycho and me. I made it in for a few seconds I treasured my whole life. Then, it all went pitch black. My nightmare awoke me, making me realize I was captured. I was taped on the muffin chair, unable to move. I felt paralyzed, unable to scream for help. I felt helpless. He found me, I thought. He's gonna hurt me. Life was coming to an end. I felt it, and it was coming soon. I viewed the room and saw the blood. Looking at the bloodshed, I could finally assess the state of affairs. Yes, just what I had thought to be the worst of nightmares came true. Straight in front of my feet were the remains of my friend. Bones of all sizes were scattered unorderly across the floor. I saw the tibia, the fibula, some of the spine vertebrae, and others which were unrecognizable. All of them had stingy scraps of flesh clung to them, bathed in a pool of blood, soaking. And then, in the middle was a decapitated head, decaying. Jane was dead, dismantled. Warm, frightened tears came running down my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I could smell her blood stench increased by the minute. Hours passed. My body trembled, waiting for him to appear. Half of me wanted him to just walk in and kill me. The other half never wanted him to walk in. Then, his bare feet silently made their way towards the entrance of the door. It sounded as if he was floating on the air as he moved so swiftly. The door creaked, filling space around him, allowing the passageway brusquely. He stopped. Then and there, he threw his head sharply to the left, to where the staircase was situated, and with that, revealing his killer instinct. His complexion and expression is something I have never seen before. The stare of lust and desire, bearing to the depth of his eyes. I divert my attention looking at Jade's decaying body. Looking back at him, he had black, short hair, was about 6 feet tall, muscular and big. He brought a dark sensation into the room. He had a small grin on his face as he slowly made his way towards the knife and the chainsaw. I watched and begged to myself he would let me go. Ever so slowly, he advanced towards me, and with every step, my heart skipped a beat, waiting for the moment he spoke. As he moved closer, his eyes were locked with mine. Then and there, I realized who he was. He had never met me, or at least I thought. He killed my mother, and now my best friend. He finally spoke. His voice was deep and dark. He said, "Hello, Emma." He knew me. He knew who I was. I knew who he was. "You have your mother's eyes," he said. Next, I see the bloody knife he held rise above me. My life finally came to an end by the same person who created it, my father.